Okay, I'm in a particular mood to yap right now for no reason. I just know I try to do some studying for my midterm in like 2 days, which is like actually really close, and I should definitely be studying right now. But I noticed that I couldn't focus on anything, and I also tried to study on how to drive, which is really important because I don't have driver's education because I dropped it because of a scheduling issue, and then so now if I want to get my driver's permit, I need to study how to drive of my own time without the class, which is really stupid, but I just have to do it. And since it's like something that I don't have a class for, I just have to spend my own time with my own, work ethic to like learn how to drive. And that's really unfortunate because I have zero work ethic or any like initiative to learn how to drive on my own. And every day that I wait now to get my permit is a day later that I have to wait to get my license, in my junior year. So it's a good thought, but every day I just have the tab on my laptop open. Every time I come down to like do schoolwork, I see the tabs DMV little booklet thing, and I just like look at it for half a second. Then I realize it's like 50 pages long, and I'm just like, I will not be studying how to or how to freaking drive today. It's just not worth my time. But what I'm actually gonna do today, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I was particularly bored and my attention span was particularly low. So I'm gonna do my quarter 2 recap of sophomore year. I guess I'll just do one of these every quarter or whenever I have low attention span or hyper energy for no reason. Um, yeah, I don't know why. I'm just particularly bored. And plus, I don't even need to sleep in the next 2 minutes like I always do with these when I make it like right before I sleep. It's only 7:30. I have like an hour, so I can talk for an hour. I'm not gonna talk for an hour, but let's just go through random things from this quarter that I remember that come to my mind one by one. I'll go with school first because that's what my dad told me is top priority. I should always prioritize school over all things because grades are important and college is important and future is important. And I'll think about that stuff later when I'm less cooked in the brain and have a better processing ability to understand that stuff. But anyways, school. Gov school is Gov school. I'll start with research class. Easy freebie class. That class is literally just a free elective grade that they steal from your schedule to rob you of an elective class, but they give you a free 100, so it boosts your GPA, I guess. So it's free. You don't really do anything. The most interesting thing we did this quarter was recently we had this egg drop competition where you have to basically through a bunch of experiments figure out. It's just a classic egg drop experiment. You do a bunch of tests to figure out what contraption can defend your egg from cracking when it gets dropped from 7 meters. So we did the final experiment, which we spent the whole semester doing experiments, changing groups, meeting new people. I hate meeting new people. One of my groups was so stupid. But anyways, we spent the whole semester building up for the project. I got in my final group. We made our design. It was just a coffee cup with cotton stuffed in it with a parachute. We dropped it. It worked. And we got an 100, at least for most of it. Some of it was, I don't know, by technicality, an 80 somehow. I don't know. But my grade in that class is like a 99, so I don't really care. Overall, research has been chill. That egg drop was like such a pain to work up to the entire semester. It was so much extra work than what was necessary for like an actual egg drop. But I guess the final like 2 weeks of it was pretty fun because you kind of just like made the final design because it was the final design. It wasn't like a prototype 2. It was like the final design. You actually had to like put effort into it. So the final was fun, and then you also had to make a commercial and then like make a brand name for your group. And like our group is super uncreative, so we were thinking like how we need to make a company name for our egg drop company, and nobody had an idea. So I said Glove Egg Gang because we put our egg in a glove because in case it broke, we wanted to contain the mess. So we put it in a glove, and then we put the egg in the glove, and that was just a random detail. So I just called it Glove Egg Gang, Geg, GEG. And I said this as a joke, and then our group was so stupid that we were just like, sure, that's our idea, Glove Egg Gang. And then I made a logo. I got a picture of a guy with a hood to represent gang. I got a glove with like a Spider-Man, like it was like a gang sign with like a Spider-Man glove. And then I got a picture of an egg, and then I pasted the three onto Canva, and then I copied that, put it into a Google Doc, and then they all looked at it and said it was trash. So they made a new logo. But I made that in like 30 seconds, so that was kind of just like to inspire them. Anyways, I'm getting off topic like I always do. Basically, that research project was light work, and after that, what's been happening for the past like week and a half or two, we've been playing with Arduino boards, which is just like electric circuitry. I can't say that word. It's just like a circuit board with like wires and crap, and then you also it mixes in with like coding. So it's like a fun thing to mess with like coding and then actual like real life application of like a circuit board and wiring and all that crap. It's a mess, but I actually did pretty good, all things considered. Like he was like, "All right, when you make it to the next step, call me." And I was like, within 10 minutes, I'm like, "Send me to the next step," because I was like speeding through. I have coding experience from a 2 hour video on YouTube, so I was able to speed through that pretty well. But today we did the final day of what's it called, the circuit boards, and it's kind of I don't actually remember what we did. Oh yeah, we made. I don't know. It's too difficult to explain. We just connected a bunch of code to like make this super difficult contraption where like a little hand moves, a thermometer like detects a thing, a program runs, and then like stuff happens. It was pretty fun, I guess. But this is the last day that we're gonna work on circuit boards, and then next semester research class supposedly gets super difficult because we have to do a semester-long research project about something relevant and actually researchable, and then at the end of the year we have to present that research project to the entire gov school, every single grade. So that was fun to learn about. He just told us that today, and that was like a jump scare. Not really. I don't actually care about presenting at all. So realistically, I'm not looking forward to actually doing a research project for a semester long. But in seventh grade, I did take Prisms, which was literally just a semester long research project as well. So I guess it's like the exact same thing. But overall, that's research class. Yeah, that's one of the few classes I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna just speed through this as fast as possible. Chemistry is not really that interesting. We take notes, we take a quiz, we take a test, we do occasional labs. I'm trying to think of like a fun lab we did. They're not like boring per se. The labs are actually pretty fun. You get to like play with fire and like mix ingredients and like stuff explodes. Not really. It's like chemical reactions, and then you like write it down in a notebook and do math. Labs are like the freest grade of the class anyway. But overall, there's nothing to say about that class. Chemistry is chemistry. I have an A. That's all that matters. That class is so annoyingly difficult. People say it's like the most difficult AP class. In my opinion, it's just a lot of work and it's just a pain. But overall, that class is chill. I don't really care about that class. And then next, I'm gonna go to math. Math is a freebie in my opinion. Because last year, I had that teacher who's an absolute legend. Nobody likes him. Everyone complains about him when they have him. But then the year after, when they take pre-calc, they realize pre-calc is just review of Algebra 2. So when you have a really strict and annoying Algebra 2 teacher, it actually really helps in pre-calc. So God bless my annoying Algebra 2 teacher. Everyone hates him. We're going to call him Mr. Cockrocket. That's literally what everyone calls him. But he's a legend. He prepared us for pre-calc pretty well. So all those gov school students getting 50s on a factoring quiz, like, I don't understand. I don't know who taught them. I'm not going to blame them. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying they had a bad middle school or bad high school teacher in their 9th grade year, because I breezed through pre-calc. I have like a 99. I almost got above an 100. I'm actually like kind of disappointed I didn't get above an 100. But math is easy. The class itself, our teacher is questionable. She did like this with her hand and said, "Find tangent of 45 degrees." Did this, and then everyone started laughing. No one actually laughed because we don't want to like piss her off accidentally, but she was like, "Guys, I'm not saluting Hitler. I'm telling you to find tangent of 45 degrees." And she just held the pose for like a solid 30 seconds, and everyone was just like, "What is she doing?" She like goes on random rants too. She's like the teacher that just, I swear to God, every year there's like that one teacher that just like talks and goes off on a random tangent for no reason. That's probably me. That's like future me. But like she talked about like hand grenades, like the history of math. Like I don't care about history of math. Like some person that like invented a number. I really don't care. So overall, math is easy. The teacher's stupid. We don't learn anything in that class. She doesn't teach us. She just gives us like a PowerPoint. She like attempts to teach us in class, but then she goes on a tangent and says, "Oh, I guess we're out of time, guys. Just learn the subject on your own at home with the notes that I provided you." So in reality, we're teaching ourselves. And from what I've heard, I think some college classes actually go like that. So I guess it's good practice for college when you don't learn anything from your professor or teacher and you just have to learn everything on your own. So I guess it's good practice. Anyways, I went through those three humanities slash English slash whatever you people call it. I remember in elementary school they called it like language arts. I don't know why they called it that. It sounds really like formal, but it's English class, except now it's called humanities for some reason. I don't even know why. And to be honest, this quarter, if I'm trying to think about what happened, we learned about Socrates in the first quarter, and then we just stopped and read a book for a little bit, and then now we're on Aristotle. But we read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was a fun book. It's like really old, made in like the 1900s, 1970s. It was such a fun book. Not really. It was a mid book. It was a decent book, but the amount of assignments that she gave us for such a simple book, it's like when they give you something simple and they just tell you expand on that. What does this mean? It's like when you analyze poetry and the teacher tells you like, what do they mean by this? And it's like it's just so annoying because the book is meant to be simple in my opinion. It was like a fun, simple read, but the way our teacher did it, she just like told you, she gave you an assignment and she said, analyze this part, analyze this chapter, tell me, what do they mean by that? What is the author, what is the secret hidden message? And maybe there is a secret hidden message. I just don't have the intellectual capacity to like care enough to analyze the hidden meaning of a passage, especially when it's in like a random like science fiction novel. Like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, by all means, is a great book. I enjoyed reading it, but like it's just so awful to like do assignments on it. And we did an essay at the end, like this whole like fun fact. We did these rough drafts for the essay, and then we got in groups to analyze the essay. This girl in my group had a 5-page essay. I had like a 3-page essay, so it's not that big of a difference. But we were supposed to analyze, give feedback to each other. I think I might have already said this story before, but anyways. The girl looked at my essay, and as I was reading, she just kept like highlighting stuff, and she was like, this is wrong. This needs to be changed. This needs to be more specific. She highlights something and puts as a comment, why, question mark, and I'm just like, what do you mean, why? You don't need to... anyways, that was a bad essay. I'm glad she revised it, I guess. I did have to edit it a lot. But, fun fact, that was like a month ago. That was like, probably like 2 months ago by now, but she still hasn't graded them. Our humanities teacher is probably the worst grader of the century. But if I check my grade right now, I know for a fact it's not there. In fact, I don't even need to check. Let me just like, overall check my grades. Overall, humanities... we read that book, Hitchhiker's Guide. It was pretty, fun, I guess, until she forced assignments down her throat. But after that, we're now in Aristotle. This is what we're going off right now, and this is what leads to my midterm speech about art. I already talked about that in the last one, so I don't want to go into that. But tomorrow, we have to give a 1-minute, pre-presentation to our 5-minute presentation. And I just realized today, after talking to some people, the time limit is 5 minutes, but you're not supposed to, that's the limit. But realistically, I think it's supposed to be, somewhere around 3 minutes. And I didn't realize this. I thought it was meant to be around 5 minutes, but not over 5 minutes. So my speech that went over 17 minutes yesterday, or it was probably more like around 10 minutes, I'd need to do some serious cutting on that. And I haven't thought about that, even though I have to give a pre-presentation tomorrow. I'll just talk so fast tomorrow that no one will understand me. That's really how speeches go anyway. But anyways, if I check my grades, God, my Android is blurry. This camera is also really awful. I have an 100 in humanities, if you can't tell. It's really nice because she doesn't put in any grades. It's actually really stressful because at the end of the quarter, she puts in all your important grades because she just stalls until the end, and then suddenly your grade drops by a whole letter grade because maybe you accidentally did really bad on an assignment. But you don't know until she puts the grade in, which is 20 years after you do the assignment. But anyways, humanities is whatever, that book we read, and then now it's just Aristotle. I'm not looking forward to Aristotle. It's just another philosopher. I didn't like Socrates, and I'm not going to like Aristotle. Actually, now that I think about it, I do have a philosopher brain, so I read it, and I don't like the work of reading it, but I can comprehend it, and it actually makes sense to me. So I guess that's better than most people who read it and they're like, this makes no sense. The way I think actually lines up really well with philosophers for some reason. I don't really know why. I guess I just have a natural philosopher brain. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe I'm just clinically insane. But either way, those are the four Gov School classes. Those are like the only relevant school classes. I have AP US History. That class should be light work. It's not even in Gov School, but I've been trolling it super hard because for some reason every class that's not in Gov School I just don't care about. In fact, my priorities have been spread pretty thin throughout like this quarter, to be honest. But AP US History, I still have an A. That's all that matters. We took this a unit test that she was like, the teacher got super scared. She was like, this test is super scary. Most people get a C on it, so everyone's super stressed out. I got a 96, which is pretty good, and whatever. My grade's still an A. That's all that matters to me. Anyways, AP History is chill. Our teacher in AP History, or AP, what was it? I think it's just AP History, not AP US History. Our teacher is actually really chill. She's like, she used to play Fortnite. She used to be a streamer. She talks about her divorce all the time. She's like, she's just a chill person. She's like one of the teachers that just like talks to like the students literally gather in a circle around her desk and just like talk to her. And like this one guy, my friend, is like he was going on a date and then he just like sat next to the teacher's desk and was just like talking to our teacher, and she was just like they were just exchanging advice, and she was like, all right, what you want to do, don't hold him. I wasn't paying attention, but like it was actually a bit too painful to hear, but like it was funny to see like a history teacher give me dating advice to a sophomore student who was also like he wasn't just like some random, he was like a high like he's a generally like well-known guy, so you'd expect him to like know what he's doing, but he had to ask for advice from the history teacher, so that was just like hilarious to me. But those are like the school subjects. I also have band, which is like that's a Doe's class. Everyone's been like I have some people outside of band. At Millbrook, band doesn't have the best reputation. Everyone says like band kid, that's like a bad thing. Overall, it is what it is. But a lot of my friends have been trying to convince me to quit band because they see like there's no purpose of it. And realistically, when you think about it in terms of like education wise and like value from your classes, I'm not gaining anything from band. But my brothers took band, and I don't know. It is fun. Marching band is fun, and wind ensemble, the concert ensembles are just easy. So it's kind of just a chill class for me. But I was thinking about like dropping band, but realistically, I don't think I'm gonna do it just because. Also, next year I have to be like a section leader, and if I quit, then some stupid like freshman's gonna be a freshman leader or section leader, and I just don't want to do that. So realistically, I'll probably do band for at least another year, and then senior year, I most likely will still do it. Mainly because like I do band for marching band. That's like the only fun thing about band for me. And then the class itself doesn't matter to me, but you need to take the class to do marching band. So like there's like a rare exception if you like are forced to take other classes. So maybe if I try to BS that way. I don't know why I'm thinking about it so much. I'm treating band like it's a bad thing. It's really not that bad of a thing, but I just like make it a bad thing. Overall, I'm just saying band is a light class, but it's not really much for me to learn, I guess. I guess it doesn't really help me in anything. But then there's, what was my last class? Design, multimedia, web tech, freaking web design or something. Basically, I took this class as like on a whim because I finished online health class in 2 weeks because the teacher said like, oh, realistically, you can complete all your assignments in like a week. And he figured me out. I actually like that teacher a lot. He was like, you're Asian and like you do a lot of work, so realistically, I know you can complete this class in a week. So I'm like, all right, man, thank you. So I completed the class in like 2 weeks, and then he was like, all right, now that you're done, you can keep this class as an empty study hall, or you can take another class. And I'm like, I would not like to, like, some people would say, yeah, I want another, like, study hall period, but I really didn't care at the time. So I said, give me another class. So I took design, multimedia, web tech, whatever it is. It's just HTML coding, CSS, basic stuff. I learned it all in like 2 hours on a YouTube video, to be honest, so it's all review. But it's a free 100, so like, it's good stuff. Plus, like, I went into the class and like there were a few friends that I knew, so it was better than that empty classroom where I took online health for 2 weeks. But anyways, those are the school stuff. Extracurricular wise, marching season ended. I went to indoor track because why not? I don't actually know why I joined indoor track. I just felt like running. Running is just for fun, to be honest. And if I'm being honest, compared to some of the runners there, I am not a fast individual at all. And I haven't ran in like a year anyway, but I'm just there to like exercise, to be honest. And Toby's always the one that's saying like, we're here for fun and like don't get too stressed up on like your time or something. And to be honest, I don't have time to stress about my time. So I'm just there for fun. And I also joined academic team as like a club. Again, I don't know why. This girl, a senior of one of my friends at Gov School, she rides the bus to Gov School with all of us. So one day she was like, guys, you guys need to join academic team because we're like at a low population right now. And we need more young, smart minds like Gov School students. And basically, academic team is trivia team. It's just trivia. They ask questions, you answer the questions. Your school club is the team, and then you just verse other schools, other teams, to see who's the most knowledgeable trivia. Which school has the most knowledgeable students? So I joined academic team. Um, to be honest, I suck at academic team. The only reason I joined was that senior from Gov School. She gave a really very persuasive. I might have to learn from her on persuasion. She persuaded me personally by saying there was a lot of math questions. I was like, oh, first of all, math is easy. I can answer math questions. And also, I figured like math questions is like good practice. So I was like, okay, I'll join for the math questions. Turns out there's like one math question for every 10 questions. And also, the math question makes no sense. It's like if there's a probability of like this and there's a probability of that, what's the probability of half of this to be 1/4 of that? And I'm just like, what? And I'm just so lost. And honestly, the only questions that I get in that class or in that club is just like a question about some like random thing that I learned in a prior history class, or something about China because my dad likes to yamble about China occasionally, and I just generally just have China knowledge. And it's a placebo effect, in my opinion. When I hear a question and it's something related to China, I just automatically talk to myself and I say, I'm Chinese, therefore I must get this. I must know this question. And half the time I actually do know the question, so it actually helps. Plus, my dad goes on like random rants about Chinese history half the time, so I'm sure he could answer all those questions really easily. Maybe I should actually listen to those ramblings sometime. But overall, academic team is decent, and then it's kind of annoying because academic team and indoor track have conflicting schedules, so like it's just overlapping a lot. But overall, whatever. Those two are like the main extracurriculars on top of just like general homework, which honestly hasn't been that bad as long as I manage my time, like I am right now, not studying for my midterm, like an absolute pro. And then also, I had my district band audition like a few days ago. I don't actually remember. Uh, to be honest, I went in with a really big ego, thinking, "Oh, I easily make district band." And then I did my audition, and it was so bad, to be honest. And honestly, I was like really pissed off when I realized I didn't make it for like a solid hour. But then looking back, I realized my audition was pretty crap. But not only that, there were a lot of factors, like some of which I could easily control, some of which were out of my control that like kind of messed me up. One of which was me running on 5 hours of sleep that day. That was partially just ego. Like the night before, I'm like, district band auditions are tomorrow, but I'm gonna play. I'm gonna stay up till 12 and play Fortnite with the boys because they released Fortnite Lego. It's pretty fun actually, but I stayed up playing that with some friends, and then I woke up the next morning like it's 6 a.m. and I have district band auditions, and I was so dead. I tried to sleep on the bus, but then it turns out when you have a lot of people who know you, they just like taking pictures of you sleeping and posting it on their stories. So that was really annoying. I just didn't get any sleep. But not that it would have mattered. I would have been tired that day anyways. But I definitely could have slept better. I definitely could have practiced more. A big factor I realized this year, if I'm being perfectly honest, I might be worse on trombone this year than I was last year, mainly because when I took Gov School, I couldn't do jazz band, and jazz band is like a free 5 hours of practice like every week. And without jazz band, the only practice I get is in class, which is nothing because everything in class. I don't want to say it's easy, but trombone itself doesn't play anything fun in a traditional piece, so it's not difficult. And then at home, which the only time I would have is on the weekends. So I bring my trombone home every weekend, and then I tell myself like, oh, I'm gonna practice this weekend. And then homework comes over, and then I'm like, okay, I can still practice. And then I practice for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, I'm kind of bored. And when you're bored and you have a lot of other things to do, you just think, well, I could do something else. So honestly, I could have definitely done a lot more practice, but it was just, myself choosing not to practice. Plus, like, big ego. And also, realistically, I am the best trombone player at my school because there's no one older than me except for this one girl who's actually, like, getting really good pretty fast, probably because she's in jazz band. And everyone's always yapping to me. They're like, why did you go to gov school and quit jazz band? I'm like, it's not like a thing I can answer. I chose to do gov school because why not? And then, I just can't do jazz as a result of that. But um, I'm not saying I have regrets particularly because if I'm being honest, I didn't particularly like jazz band, but it was a lot of good practice. And overall, if I want to get better at my instrument, I do just need to practice. But I think my dedication to my instrument has probably been lacking a lot. But overall, I also just struggle. I have like a bit too many things on my plate right now. But they say like when you have too many things on your plate, you would get like stressed. If I'm being honest, I'm not stressed. I'm just stupid. So I struggle to like balance it all. And I guess realistically, you can't get good at everything at the same time. So that's a good revealing moment. I kind of just like filled myself with like more activities until I reach my limit. I don't think I reached my limit, not mentally at least, or maybe I'm just like stupid. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. It's a bit busy recently, but I don't actually care that much. As long as I get good sleep, because that's like actually a really big factor. If I wake up on a bad night's sleep, I just feel like crap the rest of the day. And then the next day I tell myself I'm gonna sleep earlier. It doesn't happen. I get pretty bad sleep most of the time, but I can't really do anything about it. Overall, um, yeah, I think that's my quarter recap. I talked a lot today, mainly because I'm bored. It's 8 o'clock now. I can probably do some studying, hopefully, drink some water. But overall, that's the second quarter. The second quarter is not actually done yet. I still have to take like the midterms, do a art speech, take a history test, and then it's winter break, which is God bless winter break. That's gonna be so fun. My brothers come home. Uh, it should be chill. And then, 2024 comes around. Hopefully it's, whatever it is. Anyways, I'm tired. Or no, I'm not. I'm not actually tired. I'm just going to stop talking now because this is a 27-minute recording, and that's too long for anyone to ever consider watching. But anyways, that's about it. Yep. Bye.